All right, so I'm gonna call this 1JZ swap 2.5 technically. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the throttle cable, which I'll show you how to do. You need to get the one from a 1992 to 1996 Toyota Camry, 4-cylinder or V6. It does not matter. It just needs to be long enough. For example, this throttle cable right here, it doesn't reach all the way to our throttle body right there. So we need it to reach, and the one from the Camry is long enough to do just that. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. So basically for our throttle cable, we have to undo those two bolts right there. Let's see if I can get a zoom in. Those two bolts, and then these two bolts on the pedal. That allows you to get to those two because the pedal is in the way sometimes. And then you just pull it through after you unhook it from the pedal itself. And that's it. And then you just pull it out and then insert the new one. Is that the Toyota one is horizontal, so you have to flip it and make it work pretty much, but it'll work. Basically it'll work. It'll give you the length that you need. I'm gonna start on the wiring right now, so I can go over some bases with you guys. So for starters, we're gonna need the relay box harness that goes from the relay box to the alternator. Take it from your GE, because on the 1JZ, it's on the opposite side due to it being a right-hand drive car. So it's over here when it's supposed to be over there. Now what you can do is fish it through and like try to remove it from where the injectors are and all that other good stuff down there. But to me, that seems stupid when I have the original. So I'm just gonna cut it like right here, like cut it a little bit, maybe on this harness right here. You can see it. I'll try to turn the camera around. I'm gonna try to cut it like on this harness right here. Snip it there, and then snip it like right here. That way I can just come from here to this box. And this is a 01, by the way. So you also have to wire this black and red wire at the far right. That has to get 12 volt constant, so you can just go straight to the alternator if it focuses. Sorry about that, guys. Focuses. So I'm gonna cut it closer up to up here. That way I could just crump a spade on it and just go straight there. And also for this tack right here, for this igniter, we need where it says tack. And you see on the JZ, on the 1JZ, it's missing. But on the IS harness, it's there. So I'm gonna pin this harness and it has to run all the way to the speedo, which I'm gonna cut a hole in that little cover right there. It has to run all the way to the speedo, and I believe it's A11, if I'm not mistaken, on the cluster. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then trying to find a way to loop the neutral safety switch, which I think they are the brown and white wire and this black wire right here. So that one and this one I think are the neutral safety. If you guys know, let me know. And then of course I'm gonna plug up the starter, and then run the power steering. I'm gonna put it in this corner and run it from a hose that's right here. And I'm gonna take off this hose right there, and then just run the return from the reservoir to here to here. And then that's it for that. Also, it's a good idea to cut your fan a little bit to stick some intercooler piping on this side. Hopefully, I'm aiming. That's the goal. So that's the goal for today. And I'll be back. So for the return, all I did was order some 5/16 Anline hoses with some -6 Anlines, one straight and one curve to a 90 degree, and it's gonna go on top of the retrofitted housing. And then it's gonna run, I had to fish it almost down and to the left. So I had to go to the left a little bit in order to go to the right, if that makes sense, like drifting. So this is also what I did. So I know a lot of people ask about the intercooler piping for this car, and more specifically the cold side. So the cold side was a little tricky, but I was able to get it. So for the hot side, I just ran a coupler going here with a straight just going down as far as I can get it. And then of course wrapping it around here, going into the intercooler. And I used brackets from a hole that I drilled here and went all the way to that. Depending on your intercooler, you might have to do the same. But I wanted the smallest one, that way the bumper could fit. And on the hot side, on the cold side, I used a 3-inch coupler to a 2.5 and a small 45. It's not a lot of clearance between there, but it's enough, and it stays steady to a straight. And then I went down here, so it's a little bit under, as you can see. It comes straight around, but it's sturdy. It ain't going nowhere. Maybe I'll add like some underneath, but for the most part, it's not going anywhere. And here we go, completed 1JZ.